China index, price prediction, and technical analysis. And here we are on the monthly chart. And just looking at the monthly chart, I would say that this particular index is likely to push further up to around where we actually have this level over here. And the reason why I say so is because we have at this point in time what seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern over here. And as you guys know, this would be the left shoulder, this would be the right shoulder, and this would be the head. And the pattern has a neckline at that level, more or less. And we can also see that the current month's candlestick is quite strong, and if it does close above that neckline, which is again over here, I believe that we will see this particular index actually continue to move all the way up to that point over there, which is in line pretty much with where the structure would have started, in my humble opinion, right? The reality is that the pattern started at that level, and ideally we want to see the market continue to move further up to that point to close in line with where it had started. Another factor that motivates why price may continue to move all the way to that level, which is again, if I can just mark it over here, is that we have this candlestick over here, and it is a bullish candlestick which has quite a small body, right, and a very long upper wick. And as I always say, at the top where that wick actually ends, we have a lot of liquidity there, and liquidity is money, and that money needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another, as I always say, right? Anyway, I'm just going to actually add my neckline for that inverted head and shoulders pattern over here, more or less, right? Just bear with me. Let's see. Let's have a look. There we go. Right. Another thing that I also want to mention is that as much as at this point in time the anticipation is for price to actually continue to move further up, just note that we also have this candlestick over here, right? It is a bearish candlestick again with a small body and quite a long lower wick. And again, at the bottom where that wick ends, we have a lot of liquidity there. So it is quite possible that in the future we may potentially see price, if I can just draw this channel over here, right, price may actually come back all the way to this level over here to trigger that liquidity, and then only potentially move further up. But I believe that in order for this particular move to happen, it will be caused by fundamentals, in my very humble opinion. Anyway, let's proceed from here. Let's head down to the weekly chart, and just to zoom out and to recap, remember that on the monthly chart we spoke about how we have this, if I can just mark it, this inverted head and shoulders pattern. We said price, should it close above this neckline, chances are, right, it's gonna move further up to the point that I spoke about, which is around there somewhere, right? But here we are on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, what do we see? On the weekly chart, as much as we have that inverted head and shoulders pattern around here somewhere, on the weekly chart we also have another inverted head and shoulders pattern again, right? And it too has a neckline there, and again we may see price move to the neckline and then move further up, right? But the most important thing at this point in time is that the market is, right, in a very strong upward momentum or upward trend, and for the most part I'm just going to look for potential buy opportunities, right? Let's head down to the daily chart. Let's have a look. And on the daily chart, I'm just gonna add my daily channel, more or less. Let's have a look. There goes my daily channel. Let's see, right? And I'm gonna zoom in. However, before I do so, let me just point out that on the weekly chart we said we have another inverted head and shoulders pattern here, right? And the anticipation is for price to continue to move further up. But let's zoom in again and see what's happening on the daily chart. Let's have a look. On the daily chart, I expect price to give us a retracement of sorts. The reason why I say so is because the market opened here, right, and it opened at this level, and it's gonna close, I believe, here, right? And normally what happens is in each and every session there needs to be a reversal of sorts. Like for example, here we saw price went down, then went up, right? And then here the market went up, then went down, and then again here price I would say went up a bit, went down, and then went up again, right? And then here price went up and then came down, right? So within this session as well, I expect there to be a reversal of sorts, right? Perhaps to here, and then price may continue to move further up, right? And if it doesn't happen within this session over here, chances are we're gonna see the market open in the next session and then almost immediately move further down, and perhaps to here maybe, where we have the neckline of, remember, that inverted head and shoulders pattern on the, or rather on one of the bigger time frames, right? Anyway, let's head up to, rather head down to the H4 chart. I'm just gonna adjust my daily channel. There we go, right? There we go, right? Let's have a look. What do we see on the H4 chart? I'm just gonna add my H4 channel. Just bear with me, and I would add it like this. And just based, excuse me, on the H4 channel, again we can see that we are in a very strong upward trend, and I'm just going to look for buy opportunities. However, having said that, just to head down to the daily chart, remember I said that we need to see a reversal of sorts, and within the session, and it may happen, right, where price actually moves further down before actually continuing to move further up, right? And if it doesn't happen within the session over here, it's likely going to happen in the next session. We will see price move further down and then potentially continue to move further up. And just to go down to the H4 channel again, or that chart, on the H4 chart, I don't see any actual patterns. In terms of buy or sell opportunities, right? And what I'm going to do at this point in time is just wait and see what happens next, right? And because we have this channel over here, and we had first rejection, second rejection, in the future we may get a third rejection there, and price may continue to move further up, right? However, I would love to see price from where it is actually move further down, and at least to around here somewhere. Let me just mark it properly, around here somewhere, right? And if it does so, at this point is where I will be looking for potential buy opportunities. And that is because, again guys, just to go back to the daily chart, on the daily chart I said that within this session over here, we are yet to see a reversal of sorts, right, or a retracement of sorts, in order for price to continue to move further up, right? So I want to see price come back to this level, and at this level more or less is where I will be looking to potentially buy.